Another Minnesota Vikings player could be out, might not be. Seems like everything's okay. But they also said that about J.J. McCarthy. It's just precautionary, no big deal. This is just routine this time of year. But another Minnesota Vikings starter is now possibly going to be out a few weeks, a few days. Who really knows the timetable? Nobody does. But I do know that this Minnesota Vikings starter is going to miss the second practice of joint practices with the Cleveland Browns. This podcast is presented by Hoagland Farm. Contact Hoagland Farm and get the best rotationally grazed 100% grass-fed beef. Do you want sirloin steaks and T-bone steaks? Do you want ground beef? Do you want chuck roast? Hoagland Farm offers it all in quarters and halves. You can buy a half a cow, a quarter of a cow. You can get custom sample packs. Contact Hoagland Farm today at 952-491-1541 and fill your mouth with saliva-driven, watery, tasty, amazing beef. 952-491-1541 and get 20% off your first order by mentioning the Minnesota Tim podcast. So this Minnesota Vikings starter, you probably figured it out by now, but it is Jordan Addison. And according to beat reporters, this one comes from Ben Gessling, Jordan Addison was on crutches with his left foot in a walking boot after the Minnesota Vikings practice in Cleveland today, he was told. Kevin O'Connell did say that Addison's ankle injury didn't appear to be serious. Here we go again. Addison won't practice Thursday. We'll see how long he needs to recover. So the hits just keep on coming for the Minnesota Vikings. First, it's Addison's DUI, the passing of Kyrie Jackson, which was really, really unfortunate and sad. J.J. McCarthy's injury, Mekhi Blackman's torn ACL. Now Jordan Addison again, hurt. He's going to undergo some tests today, which, I mean, I don't know how to react to that because J.J. McCarthy was precautionary, but yet they did tests to undergo certain situations to see what was going on inside his knee. But don't you still, I mean, I see it from two different kind of perspectives. My first thought is, if it's just precautionary, why are you doing tests? But then my second point of view is, why wouldn't you want to do tests, even though it's precautionary, to see what's going on inside the knee, inside the ankle? Don't you want to do that anyways, just to make sure, so that you can rule everything out? But there was a different kind of tone with Kevin O'Connell following J.J. McCarthy's knee injury than Jordan Addison's ankle injury. Because he says it didn't appear to be serious, but yet he's in crutches and he's on a left foot and a walking. Oh, my goodness. It just seems like everything is falling off the face of the Minnesota Vikings earth right now. Just like everything that could go wrong is going wrong. But at the same time, they're still floating above water barely. J.J. McCarthy's out, but Justin Jefferson's not out. And it sounds like Jordan Addison could be back very soon with the Minnesota Vikings. But at the same time, is he going to be suspended for a few games this season because of the NFL policy? Some people are saying a 3-game suspension, but his court date isn't until October 6th or something like that. So he'll be playing the first month of the season. Is it going to be a suspension in the middle of the season? I don't know. So I don't think anybody really knows. But if the Minnesota Vikings want to have a successful season, Jordan Addison needs to be on the field for a majority of the season. Justin Jefferson's wide receiver one, obviously, and one of the greatest wide receivers in the NFL right now, and one of the greatest wide receivers the NFL has ever seen in terms of route running, in terms of his abilities and things like that. But we need Jordan Addison as wide receiver two, because this could be the best duo in the NFL. If Jordan Addison performs to a level that we hadn't really seen yet from the guy out of USC. I mean, he performed great last year, 10 total touchdowns, filled in great while Justin Jefferson was out. But if he takes another step towards superstardom this NFL season, while he's overcoming all of these obstacles, one that he created himself, another that's an ankle injury that he can't really control. But if he can perform to a superstar level this year, then the Minnesota Vikings offense will go to a new level. He is my X factor because Hawkinson's going to be out for the first few games, even though his recovery is going faster than we expected. Jalen Nailor seems to be stepping in as wide receiver 3 nicely, but the Minnesota Vikings need wide receiver 2. They need them for Sam Darnold, for Justin Jefferson, for the Minnesota Vikings offense. In order to make opposing defenses stress out on what the Minnesota Vikings offense can do, they need a wide receiver 2 like Jordan Addison to take the next step. That's how the Minnesota Vikings offense will be good this season. So hopefully he gets back. He was carted off the field. Early signs aren't great, but it seems like he should be okay. But, man, the Minnesota Vikings need Jordan Addison back on the field immediately.